So starting the test drive in this RAV4 Prime, I'm just curious how it does when I floor it. So it's an EV mode there. So it doesn't feel as quick as I was expecting, but I also feel like I'm not getting the full power output. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it into sport mode and see what that does. I'm gonna take the EV mode off, then let's give it a pull here. Oh yeah, that's much better. Wow. Yeah, it's pretty impressive when the 4-cylinder is activated, as well as the power you get from the electric setup. That is nice, very nice. But I actually like the driving dynamics of this much more than the RAV4 hybrid, the regular RAV4. It's just, the steering feels a lot less loose than I'm used to. It's a tongue twister, but it just drives. I like how it drives. Now it's still a little loose in this sport mode, but it doesn't, I guess it doesn't feel as flimsy to me as the RAV4 usually is. And most RAV4 buyers like that about the RAV4s. For whatever reason, they just appreciate having that lighter steering. Because my girlfriend, she loved her RAV4, and I hated how that car drove. It was an 18 limited, and I just didn't like the steering there. But this here, specifically in this sport mode, I enjoy the driving dynamics, and I feel like both of us would be happy with how this drives. But I want to see what these paddle shifters do. So I don't know what it's doing here. But the paddle shifters, they're being very strange. But I'm gonna try to use them on the interstate and see if they'll do something, because I feel like I'll be behind these trucks for a second. But of course, one great thing about having a hybrid, specifically a plug-in hybrid, is I'm not hearing much from the powertrain, because right now I'm being driven just by the electric motors. And that's one thing I love about plug-in hybrids, is you can use them for long distances if you need to, but for everyday driving, for a short commute, you can use that EV power. It's better on the environment, it's better on your wallet, because you're able to charge cheaper than most pay for gas, even with something that's getting good gas mileage like this. But I just love the clean power, and I love the, I guess, instant torque you get there. But I'm gonna do another pull in sport mode. All right, here we go. Gosh, oh my gosh. Yeah, that pull it's so strange, but wow. Now, it's not a speed demon, but I mean, this is definitely by far the fastest RAV4 I've ever driven. And just from where the different power sources kind of kick in, it was such a weird acceleration. So as I'm flooring it, I feel the torque from the motors, and then as the gas engine kicks on, and then that kind of gets to its peak power, you can feel where that 302 horsepower rating is coming from, right up in there. And then it like, wow. What makes that so cool is like most everything else that I've driven, like I just drove a Z06 Corvette at 23 the other day, and I it was still exhilarating, but I knew what was gonna happen. Like, it's an 8-speed dual clutch, 670 horsepower, flat plane crank V8. I know I'm in for a pleasant surprise just from the power you're getting. But here, I got the torque off the line. I said, okay, that's nice. And then as it hit about 30 miles per hour, I felt like a jolt. Another jolt of power to just push me to that 50 mile per hour range. And I said, my goodness. So very impressed by that. It's actually pretty fun, especially being in a RAV4. Like, these cars are not meant to be fast. That's why they have 2.5 liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinders in them. But this right here is a different animal. But I'm gonna merge, because I already did a pull. I'm gonna put it into the EV mode and then put it into eco and see how it accelerates. So just normal driving here. Got it in charge mode. There's EV mode there. And I like that you can just do that at the touch of a button. Just switch. I have a Pacifica hybrid and I can't do that in that van. But I can just be charging the battery and then be like, all right, I want to change now. And it says, okay. But even in eco mode, it's so swift. Just using the EV power there. But I'm pleasantly surprised by this SUV, and I figured I would be, but I just love this RAV4 Prime. I have the lane centering on, the adaptive cruise on, or radar cruise, excuse me. All of those safety features, heated cooled seats. And again, this is a vehicle that my significant other and I could share, where she likes the looser steering and I like my steering a little tighter. It's right in the middle, unlike the gas only variants of the RAV4s. But it's just nice having that power, even with the CVT, where it kicks on. Again, you have the instant torque on the low end, and then right as you hit the 100% power curve, right before you hit that, you feel another jolt, and you're just like, what is that? But it's neat. It's really neat. And for the price point, I think this one's still around $50,000 or $52,000. Miles are low. You're right at 14,000 and some change. Only issue is you can't get the tax credit. I think you used to be able to get it on the Prime, and now you can't get it anymore. And then this one being used, pretty close to sticker, I would assume. But I mean, this is something that I would recommend. I think it would last you a minute. Now, CVTs are going in all of these plug-in hybrid vehicles, so that's just part of it. And that's probably my biggest worry in terms of reliability. The 2.5 liter 4-cylinder, I'd expect that to go the distance just like any regular RAV4 hybrid. So that shouldn't be an issue there. You might have to replace the battery pack or get that fixed, get the cells redone, something like that. But I mean, for the driving experience you get here, specifically the acceleration, very impressed. And they're the paddles I'm using now. So that actually is for the CVT revs, and that's pretty neat because I'm in EV mode and I'm still getting like a manual shift mode. And that's something I have not experienced before. So let's try that out. But I guess it's basically for the downshift, and maybe it is like a regenerative braking system. Kinda, it's strange, it's wonky. I don't know how to really explain it. But still, nice to have a fun driving SUV. And I'd highly recommend it, honestly. But this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2021 Toyota RAV4 Prime XSE.